What the hell? Okay, it's NBA Central,
Mhm.
bro. The restream be tweaking. It's NBA Central, man. We here with prediction channel. You got your boy Steve O Speech, your host here, and we got another special. I almost feel like a special guest. He acting like he don't be coming in there no more. Got your boy Hayes and shit. Hey, we about to go through these predictions. We got the New York game. They in Miami tonight, so hopefully Jimmy comes back tonight, and we got LA versus Golden State in LA. But y'all already know, y'all gotta hear that music first.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
Yeah. So first of all, we gotta talk about last night's games. We had two games last night. We had Boston and Philly go at it with Boston coming out on top. And then we had Denver and Phoenix, and Phoenix had a hell of a night last night. But first of all, we gonna touch on Boston real quick. So as you know, Boston, um, they just came on hot. So what you first of all, I want to get your thoughts, Hayes. How you feel about last night's game?
Man, listen, Boston came out and just reminded everyone why they the number one team in the Eastern Conference, bro. Like that's
Facts.
all that game was, man. It is, shout out to James Harden. As much as I don't like him as a player, you can't deny how he played in that first game in that series. But I feel like Boston since then has reminded them, no, man, this is why we got this. Like they're just on a different level, bro. And
Yeah.
especially once they're all locked in and the way that they can play defense, bro. Like I know Philly got the MVP, but Boston's just on another level, bro. They are.
Yeah, man, and I've noticed that Joe Mazzulla tactics have changed a little bit. Well, I wouldn't necessarily change. I think he just told them to shoot more, and it's definitely showing. They went from, I believe, the first game making 10 threes, and then the next game they made 20. I'm
Mhm.
not sure how much they made last night, but they were definitely pulling. They shot last night. They shot 16 for 50, for 16 for 45, which is pretty solid. 35%, not the best, but hey, they just came out hot for sure. But as you know, it was the spoilers of the MVP. Harden and Maxi only combined for 7 for 3 from the field. I remember texting the group chat. I was watching the whole presentation of the MVP, and I was watching Embiid get emotional. I was like, he about to kill. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. So what do you honestly believe got to turn around for this season? Because it looked like it has turned not for the worse, I would say, but the tides are definitely shifted in Boston's favor.
Yeah, I mean, I think Embiid isn't necessarily healthy enough to play.
Yeah,
I think that MVP pushed him to be like, nah, I gotta go out there. I can't win the MVP and not show up in the playoff series. That is this important. But you can tell, like shout out to Embiid for playing through it the way that he does. But you can tell he is not 100% at all. And I think Harden is who we thought he was. Like this is who James Harden is
yeah,
in the playoffs, man. It's unfortunate, but this always has been my issue with James Harden. Like he has the big games, some big games in the playoffs, but you can just not bet on him consistently.
yeah.
I will say this though. I'm surprised by Maxi, bro. I'm surprised that Maxi isn't playing better in this series, man.
Because he in his way. I feel like that's the whole thing. I've been saying the whole time. I mean, I understand that he's really playing like the two guard position, but I feel like if he actually just played guard, he'll thrive more. But it's the situation of Harden being there. It's understandable, so I'm not too bad at it. Also, got one last question on this topic. Do you think if Philly doesn't get it done, do they move from Doc Rivers
It could potentially be that, bro. Like we've seen coaches that have won titles get fired, and at some
as of
point you have to
recently?
do something. You have to either change your roster, or you have to change a coach to hope that they're going to get more out of that roster. Now, here's what I'll say: if Harden does leave, as the rumor is that he may leave and go to Houston, I think they
That's
keep Doc for
stupid.
another year. If Harden does stay, I do think then that puts the bullseye on Doc, and they may go ahead and move on from
For
Doc.
sure, for sure. Got my guy.
We can send them Billy Donovan. They can take Billy Donovan.
Please take it. Got my guy Ease and then Hayes and Steve. Glad to see you guys. Hope y'all doing great. We doing good, bro. Can't
Yeah, we in
complain.
here, brother.
All right, man. We gotta go to the next topic, bro. But hey, we've been saying this for the whole series that for Philly for Phoenix to come out on top of this series is gonna have to be the Booker and KD show. And last night was the definition of the Booker and KD show, bro. Combined points of 86 points. That's crazy, bro.
Listen, the Phoenix Suns, bro. I know it was hard to really get a feel for them because they had just came together over the season, but I think that we're seeing them find their balance and their stride together in the playoffs, and that's dangerous for a few reasons. Teams aren't going to have tape on them. The sky's really the limit for them. I think Chris Paul not being there as well has helped open things up a little bit more. Not to say that it makes them necessarily better, but it does open things up a little bit more for them. And I would say this: if I could bet on DeAndre Ayton stepping up and being the third for them, I'd pick them to win the title. I'm not even gonna hold you,
bro.
But you can't bet on DeAndre
at all, bro. And this series is proving why everybody had their doubts about giving him that money. Everybody had their doubts, and and I really think he's struggling mainly because CP3 is out, because CP3 used to set him up in a position that was just easy for him. But like I've been saying on here, it just sometimes you just watch him, man. He just lost. He just out there half of the time, man. You too big, you too talented to be doing that. So, I
got a hot take.
What's your take?
I got a hot ass take. If you don't have a high level point guard out there and distributors with DeAndre Ayton, he's just a 7-foot Patrick Williams. As far as passiveness, that's what I mean. As far as skill, he's way better offensively. I would never say that. But as far as passiveness, DeAndre Ayton, if you don't have a point guard that's going to get him involved in the game offensively, he passive as hell, bro.
Damn, so that's crazy. Saying he got the passive level of a P. Will and he got paid. Like, it's a little bit more acceptable now that as we got my guy Big Kev coming in. What the?
We both must have pressed it. My bad, bro. We always both quick on.
What's good, Big Bro, Kevo?
Man, bro, it's crazy at my job right now. What's going on, gang?
What's good,
bro? So we were just talking about Philly, and we was on the Phoenix episode. So tell me about your feelings on Philly real quick in Boston series.
Man, I just gotta say, oh my God, what happened to Harden? He bogus, bro. That dude did not show up. Him and Max did not show up. They ruined Joel Embiid's MVP night in front of his family, in front of his son, everybody. It's bogus. So I felt like Joel Embiid deserved better last night, and he just didn't get it.
That's bro, you killed me with the Babu tape, boy. But yeah, I've been telling y'all this is Harden. Harden, he has one spectacular game, and then you don't see him no more. That's just what he is. But what's your thoughts? We were just talking about Philly. I don't know if you just heard Hayes' hot take. You want to repeat your hot take for him real quick?
Yeah. So as far as Phoenix, I said this offensively. If DeAndre Ayton doesn't have a high level point guard out there with him, or somebody who's going to distribute the ball, he's as passive as P. Will on offense.
Absolutely. We talked about this yesterday. Actually, me and Steve saying that with Chris Paul being out the game, that would affect Ayton the most, because at least Chris Paul is looking to get him the ball and get him involved. Last night, Ayton completely looked just disengaged out there. It was really embarrassing. And we also said that it was going to take Herculean efforts from KD and Booker for them to win a game. Now, I will say this. I like the Cameron Payne pace approach. Cameron Payne pushes the pace, and that's what affected the game yesterday for Denver. They wasn't used, because when Chris Paul out there, he usually walking it up, setting up the offense. Cameron Payne's just going. He attacked the basket too, so that was a little bit of a scouting report issue for Denver last night. But man, look at Jokic. That dude had 30, 17, and 17. Murray showed up. I think the only person that didn't show up was Gordon offensively, and that might have been why they ended up losing that game. Yeah, because they got everybody else involved. And I'm glad Phoenix finally played their bench players. They played their bench players. My bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. That was a good point. But the reason I'm glad you brought that up is because Mike Malone, it's time. You've been coasting. No, for real. Like, it's time. Like, you need to start blitzing somebody. You can't sit there. Like, first of all, Booker had already been in his bag this whole series. You just been holding him off. Mm-hmm. So now he's already on fire. So the fact that you're letting him in open space get open and get to his spots, you need to blitz him. Now, I understand I might open up a can of worms with KD side because that's just open up a way ton of plays and KD score effortlessly, but you can't sit there and let Devin Booker have such an efficient game like that. That's one of the most efficient games I've seen all year.
Yeah,
20 for
20 for
25.
25 from the field, only 2 free throws. And then I got to give KD credit because he started off. I was watching the game again this morning because I'm old. I fell asleep on it last night. So he started off 1 for 9, and then he ended
Mhm.
up, I believe, like 12 for like 20. And he did
Mhm.
try to tend the bad, and they just didn't have the lateral quickness to stop in the basket and getting his rhythm from the free throw line. Booker pretty much doing whatever he wanted to do. It was a great game, guys, and this is exactly what they needed. And what I say, they had to play 43, 44 minutes, and that's exactly what they did to get that win yesterday.
Facts.
That's great points. Great points.
All right, man. So we didn't toe up that whole series. Now let's go on to today's games. We got the first game of the day.
Hold on,
We
did y'all
got
ask if Philly loses this series, is it over with for Doc Rivers? Did
yeah,
y'all ask that?
yeah, yeah. We asked.
Yeah.
What's your take on it? We both said it's a
Oh,
possibility.
he up out of there. He up out of there, bro. Like, you can't keep losing in the second round with all that talent. I don't care what you say. You got to push these guys over. And the knock on Doc Rivers throughout his coaching career is that his teams grossly underperform in the playoffs.
Yeah, you got and like Hayes just said, we see coaches that just won championships get fired. Two of them being Milwaukee's coach and
Nick
Nick
Nurse.
Nurse.
And they fired
So
the
hey,
coach before Nick Nurse off of he won the coach of the year and
Dwayne
got fired
Casey,
the same year.
Dwayne
That's
Casey,
Yeah.
wild, bro. Yeah, that was
and Dwayne
wild, bro.
Casey
Like,
got fired literally after we beat him that last game. I
yeah,
remember we was
yeah,
live. I was like, bro, y'all wow. It wasn't. I promise you, it wasn't 30 minutes after the game ended.
that's crazy.
But yeah, but now we go to my favorite series of the whole playoffs. We got New York versus Miami in Miami. Um, of course, last game, Jimmy Butler missed the game. Who else? Did anybody else? No, I think everybody else played for the most part. But New York came out and got that W, if I'm correct. It felt like it been 2 weeks since they played.
Bro, it feels like it's been forever.
For real, like, but yeah, what y'all feel about this? Right? Who y'all? What's y'all predictions for tonight, though?
Is Jimmy for sure playing? Because if Jimmy's not playing, I'm picking New York. And I hate to pick. You guys know I hate the Knicks with every fiber of my being. I feel about the Knicks the same way I do about the Packers. But I can't. If Jimmy's not playing, I can't pick any. I
Game
can't
time
pick.
decision.
You know what I mean? Oh man.
So, but
Yeah,
we do these predictions every time, and they gonna drop at 30 minutes. Watch.
he
Exactly.
questionable, but from what I'm hearing, what I've been reading the last couple of days, he's most likely playing.
Yeah, he probably got
Okay.
that shot. You know what that is.
Yeah. He got that shot. If Jimmy's playing in Miami, I don't see them losing in Miami if Jimmy's playing. If Jimmy's not playing, I'll pick the Knicks. But here's what I'm gonna say: it's gonna be a tough game regardless. I think we're gonna need another one of those efforts from Jimmy where he just is gonna have to go into, oh, I'm not letting us lose this game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how.
I agree with you, Hayes.
Go ahead.
I feel like Miami should win this game. Unlike in Philly last night, home teams in game 3, like the crowd gives you that at least be a close game. So in the end, I feel like Miami is going to be rocking tonight. Once they finally they notoriously show up late in Miami, but once they finally get in the stadium, it's going to be crazy tonight. And if Jimmy Butler is playing, which I think he will be playing, they should get the win tonight. And Miami Heat basketball is just interesting. They turn it on every season for whatever reason.
Because you got to turn that. Because it's weird because if you just look at Jimmy Butler as a person, like he kind of just goes through the motions in the preseason, and he just turns to a different person in the playoffs. So it's almost like that switch just goes off.
Right after the All-Star break, he actually went on the record saying that this year. And one thing about is a lot of people give the Bulls flack for letting him go, but the team that really should take the most flack is Philly. The Philadelphia 76ers let Jimmy Butler go for nothing. And if he was on that team, if he was on this team right now, Philly would be the favorites to go to the finals in the Eastern Conference.
I think too that the whole Jimmy Butler thing is that they let Jimmy Butler go because at that time Embiid wasn't ready for a vocal leader. I think Embiid now, I think he would embrace Jimmy now. I think it would be completely different after what Embiid's been through since Jimmy left. I think he probably would realize now, nah, yeah, Jimmy was loud, yeah, Jimmy does his things, but you need what a Jimmy Butler does, and he's shown that in this playoff run. He showed it in the finals run that Miami had. It like he can be so important to a team if you have the right coach and mindset that embraces what Jimmy brings, but you can balance him out a little bit. Philly at that time was still a young team figuring it out. They weren't ready for they weren't ready for that Jimmy Butler mindset yet.
AKA
And
Ben
you know
Simmons'
what's crazy?
feelings was already hurt.
That's
They gotta
Ben
have
Simmons is the Drake.
PTSD in Philly. They gotta have PTSD looking at James up on wide open layups last night. That was crazy.
I don't even know.
That's bad, bro.
My mama always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So I ain't gonna say nothing.
You know,
But
I feel
yeah,
like maybe
go ahead.
Ben Simmons got like a voodoo doll at the crib and he took over James Harden's body for the rest of these playoffs after he dropped that 45.
Bro, you
That's funny.
no voodoo dog. He just trash.
First of all, Ben Simmons don't have enough skill for that. He would have messed up making the voodoo doll, bro.
But first of all, he would have been scared to go in the village. You think he going to a village? He didn't do that. Nah, he done. But yeah, and here we go with
Steve-O,
game of the night.
Who you got? Steve-O, you didn't pick who you
Oh,
picking to win game tonight.
Miami. I'm gonna go with Miami. They in Miami. But yeah, let's go to the game of the night. We got LA versus Golden State in LA. So as y'all know, this series just been crazy. I feel like me personally, LA. I need to see a completely different LA. Not necessarily different, but game one LA because they just completely changed up everything after that. They got Mr. LeBron James shooting like he's Steph out here. He's averaging almost 8 shots a night, from 3. AD just ADing, and everybody else is just falling behind and trying to pick up the slack. But when you got a well-oiled machine, go to State that been killing, and then Clay had a Clay game, it's just hard to beat. So, what's y'all feelings on this game tonight, though?
Man, so here's my
thing.
thing.
Say that in a way. Go ahead, Kev.
No, you got it, dog.
Can we say is it crazy to say that in a lot of ways Kevon Looney has become a main character in this series?
Yes,
because the way that he rebounds and plays defense and kind of gets in AD's head completely could dictate the change of this series. Like he could have a similar impact. You remember when it was Golden State and Miami in the finals, and once they finally started putting Andre Drummond on LeBron, it changed that series. Looney could have that same impact with AD in this series, bro, and it's crazy to think of.
Bro, it's crazy because I was in there looking at this man in off season just work, and it's just what he trains. The way he trains is basically what he's doing now. He's just ready to get every rebound, kick out, and go back up with it. And then the defense has always been there. So everybody was saying he didn't have the best series last series, and I was just like, bro, they getting into rhythm, bro. That's one thing you don't want is a championship team that's starting to get into rhythm. They all starting to come into form. Wiggins is starting to get his step back. Now they didn't have a Clay game. The fact that they didn't have a Clay game, Lakers should be a little bit worried now, to be honest. But go ahead, Kel.
And so this series is about coaching more than anything to me. I feel like Darvin Ham, he's a damn good coach. He's going to have the Lakers ready tonight at home in LA. We had a LeBron half. We haven't had a LeBron game yet. We had the AD game, and it was 2 games ago. So basically these playoffs, AD been going off one game, chilling the next, going off one game, chilling the next. So it's time for another AD game tonight. And we already know it's well documented that the Warriors struggle on the road. Playoffs, they've been playing better on the road. But I got to give the edge to the Lakers tonight. I kind of feel like LeBron and AD going to come out ready. And they're ready for the adjustment of Draymond Green guarding AD tonight. They're going to have to put AD into some situations where he can get his rhythm early. If they try to make this another situation, goes out and dominates offensively, they're going to lose this game. LeBron cannot be the number one option to win this series. AD has to be the one putting up at least 20 shots tonight. You can't have you shooting too much. You can't have the rest of those guys. It needs to be AD getting his rhythm and the rest to follow, including LeBron. But I got the Lakers winning tonight. I figure like this.
I only got the Lakers if he decide to start posting up and going to the lane instead of shooting 9 shots. That's all. That this whole series will turn around if he just stops shooting that much. Okay, you can shoot. You have proven that you'll shoot. I'm not saying that, but like, get hot first. Like, you just be out there jacking, and that's causing long rebounds that y'all not getting, and that's causing them to go on crazy fast breaks that's ending up in threes and layups. You can't beat them when you're doing that. So that's the one thing you want to do is have a long rebound game against Golden State. So
And Golden State is hitting.
hope
I think they hit 23s in both games. I think they hit 23s in each play so far this series.
let me check real quick. I guarantee you the fast break points in the last few games has been crazy. Because I'm telling you, all he been doing is shooting threes, is hitting out the front iron, and it's long rebounds, Looney, and he just outlet gone. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, fast break is the key here, and I think that with Golden State and how cerebral they can be from the coaching and Steph when he gets going, it can be difficult, and it's going to be a long series for the Lakers. I do think the Lakers can win this series, but as you guys know, I don't bet against Golden State in the play. I'll much rather be wrong and have them lose than bet against them because Steph's the pettiest player in the NBA,
bro.
It is
That's
But
true.
look, like last game, 17-7 on fast break points. That can't happen. That cannot happen.
And it's free throws. You can't get into a shootout with the greatest shooting team in NBA history. And the last game, and it was still the first game they won, even though Golden State shot lights out because they attacked the basket and shot 30 free throws.
Yep, 29. And Golden State only had 6 free throws that game.
Great point.
But yeah, man, that's the prediction show. That's what we do. I'm gonna hit up a couple people in the chat, see what they talking about real quick.
Vern had a good
That's
question
why I
in
was
the
going
chat
straight
earlier.
to Vern.
What up, V-Dog?
He said, for the panel, do y'all see any scenarios where the head coach Monty Williams and President James Jones decided to pivot off of DeAndre Ayton and upgrade the position?
Yes, they tried to do that before
absolutely.
they signed him. Yeah, he's up out of there. Like
He signed the offer sheet with Indiana this past offseason, and eventually Phoenix caved and re-signed him. But I feel like they might try to put together a signing trade package for if I'm Vucevic, I'm trying to end up in Phoenix. I'm just being 100. If I'm Vucevic, I'm trying to force my way out of Chicago and end up in Phoenix. That's the type of player they need in Phoenix. A reliable big man who can still get you rebounds, can shoot stretch the, and it's going to be consistent. He will look great in the Phoenix. I hate to say it because I love seeing him in Chicago, but that's the best option for him.
My chest, Kev. Come on.
Bro, I can honestly say that I hadn't thought about that at all. But what you just laid out makes too much sense.
Too much sense.
That's crazy.
God damn.
Maybe on to something there. Damn, Kev.
Damn. I got speechless.
I got nothing now. I mean, he said it perfectly. Ain't nothing to add to that.
Yeah. I think we're gonna end it off on that. Thank you, V-Dog.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Hey, but thank y'all for tuning in. There's another presentation of NBA Central. We got content coming for. Make sure y'all check out Bulls Central with my boy Hayes on here. Make sure y'all check in the Chicago White Sox and Cubs Central. Also, kind of the Sky Central. Also, check out Shy Bulls podcast with my boy C-Dub and Bobby. Make sure any other it's too many channels.
Chicago Bears Central.
Chicago Bears Central, bro. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, hit that notification bell on all of them. But we almost out of here. I'm tired, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just saying shit.
That's why we out of here.
We out of here, bro.
Hey, yeah, listen, we love you guys, man.
All right, peace out.